Hi everybody, this is Diane. This video is going to be a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We'll start with some information about this journal and its makers. I showed this journal in a previous video. I purchased it from Etsy. And I didn't know much about the journal makers. And I had some questions about some of the things that were in there, and she sent me some clarification messages. So that was nice, and I want to share them with you. Also, I have a small flea market haul. I have a previous project, the wallpaper, using vintage wallpaper to make tags, and I had said I would show you them when they were all complete, and they are. And then hopefully we will begin making some ephemera for a music journal. So something made a mess here. All right, so this is the journal I got from an Etsy shop called 4 Keepsy. It's the number 4 and then Keepsy, no space, just 4 Keepsy, all one. And it's on Etsy, like I said, and it is a husband and wife and their daughter that all work together doing different aspects of the journals. Isn't that fun? And it's just a hobby for them, and they just do it for fun. And they like the grungy look. They rust their papers and fabrics and things. And they have a lot of unique elements. And I'm not going to flip through the book because I already have a flip through. I can leave that link below. But she answered my question about, I didn't know, I was confused about who made the journal, what their name was, and whether it was a man or a woman. Well, it's a man and a woman and their daughter, who is either a teenager or an adult. It's her picture that you see when you go to the shop. So she did tell me, I didn't know, I said I thought this was resin, and I was right. So this is just a vintage paper that was coated with resin, and it makes it transparent. And the leaf is also coated with resin. I think that the listing said that the spoon, there's a photo in there, and there's resin on top of it, and then there's resin inside this bullet casing to hold the spoon in place. And there was a letter in here, and I said it was sealed, and it was French. And I said maybe I would just leave it sealed. And she said, open the letter, because she had some. She got them from a flea market or antique store or something, and she didn't open one. She just wanted to put them unopened in people's journals. So she really wanted to know what was in it. So I'm curious too. So I decided I'm going to open it. She did open one, and she sent me a picture of it. After she told me to open mine, she couldn't stand it, so she opened one. Let's see, where is it? Is this it? Nope, that one's already open. Oh, this is it. Okay, don't want to lose my place here. So it's got the perforations. You have to tear off the perforation to open it. All right, I'm just going to do it. This one's already started, so we're going there. Guess I have to tear them all off. I'll keep this piece. Maybe tape it back together, I don't know. It's 1963. Well, I can't read it because it's in French, but this is what it is. I'll have to look this up and see what it means. Interesting. And it looks so neat. So I'm just going to keep them together and put them back right in here. Put it in this way. And then here's another example of the resin. This was on a very, very thin paper with some kind of a table with numbers, and you can see both sides. It made it transparent so you can see both sides of the page. So it's like overlapping letters, double exposure. So I also wanted to show you that I bought some resin a long time ago because I had seen other things that people did with resin, and what I wanted to do was coat the paper like that. So I have it. I just haven't wanted to. I guess I just am afraid, but after seeing what they did with it, I really want to do it. So there's two parts, the resin and the hardener, and you have to follow the instructions and mix them. And she said it's messy, but it's fun. So I'm gonna have to just set aside a day and make sure I have time and a clean spot where I can spread out and do some stuff with resin and let you see the results. Now, I went to the flea market this morning, and I wasn't even going to do a video on it today. I was going to save it till I had more from another day, but I decided to just do a conglomeration video. So this is all I got at the flea market. Seems like there was something else. Yeah, oh, I know. Yeah, this is it. This is all I got. So I got this from one vendor, and it's a French book. I love the cover. Marbling is pretty. The foxing on the pages. And of course it's got French text. I was looking for a date, but I don't see one. But it is old. You can tell that. This page feels very thick. I guess it's just one. Nope, no date. But it's a really nice fabric cover. There's bleaching there, I think, where the fabric has faded. Leather corners, leather spine. The leather is broken on this part. But of course I can use the text and the cover. That's probably where all the crumbs came from. And I also chose these because they were more expensive than I normally pay for photos, but I just picked out 3 that I really liked. Love that one. Any of these would be great on a journal cover. So he did give me a deal on all of these. A small deal, but it was $8 for everything, I think. No, $12, because he wanted $3 per picture and $5 for the book. So that would have been $14. So he took $2 off. And then I only bought from one other vendor. No, that's not true. I bought from 2 other vendors. I know why I was confused. It's because this backdrop is what I knew. I had something else that went with these. It's this. This is a tablecloth, and I love those colors. I don't know how old it is. I think it's vintage, but not terribly old. But I love those pastel colors, and I think that would make a really wonderful book cover. And then I got this, just because the color is unique. And this. And he charged me $5 for everything. And then from another, it was chilly this morning, and there were more vendors. This is the second official week of the flea market, and there were more vendors today, but still not as many as it will be when it's full flow. It was frosty this morning. I waited till the frost melted off my car before I went out. But it's going to warm up nicely. So it's a nice day for the flea market. And I selected these from another gentleman. So there were just men there with lots of man stuff. There were lots of guns and tools and sports things. But this is an older man who always has something interesting, and usually charges a pretty good price. And these come off. I hope I can remove these if they're not rusted on, so that they'll be flat and I can glue them onto the fronts of covers. And then I added this little toy pitcher. Probably came with a set of toy dishes, but it's Holly Hobby. So that's all I got at the flea market. And then let me show you these. I did a video not too long ago with making tags with vintage gift wrap. And so the background is vintage gift wrap, and then there is a girl image that I believe came from vintage gift wrap, but they were printed and sent to me on a sheet. And so I don't know where they came from, and I don't know if there's a digital for them. But I love them. So I used them all up. I had used some in other projects, but I decided to just go ahead and use them all. So I made all the tags and used up all my little girls. And then I punched out a 2.5-inch circle and used a digital word on each one. So I don't remember which ones I did on camera, so I'll just show them all to you. This one I didn't have a big enough piece of that vintage wrapping paper, but I wanted to use it, so I put 2 different pieces on. And also, I hadn't sewn around any of them or added the seam binding. So they are complete now. I love the way this one turned out. I think I may have done this one on camera. This one was the tablecloth, the paper tablecloth that was in a scrapbook from the 1940s. Okay, now I think that's all I wanted to talk about and show you. So I'm going to remove my pretty tablecloth. This will go in the laundry. And let's do a little work on some ephemera. I'm not really getting started on the journals yet because I don't even know what kind of cover I'm going to use, whether it be fabric or I have this from a vintage book that I got at the library a week or so ago, and I would have to trim. I folded this right in half, so it's 6 inches, but I would trim a little bit off, and then I had cut this down to, I think, 9.5. It's actually 9 3/4, so I would have to cut a little more off the height if I wanted to use this. So I don't know if I'm going to use that or make a fabric journal or cover or what. But we can at least make some ephemera today while I've got the camera on. And I have a lot of vintage ads from yearbooks and old magazines. I mean antique. And music books. Books about music. So I thought I would I don't know what I'm doing, but I thought I would just select some and make some stuff. So I have some background pieces, some base pieces that I had already cut from scrapbook paper and things like that. And I have that. So maybe I can do something with these bases and some of these. This was cut from that cardstock long folded piece that you would spread out and put above your keyboard, piano keyboard, and it helps you learn the names of the notes. This one shows the fingering of your notes, I think, is what those numbers are. So I'm going to see if I can add some of these, of the vintage ephemera. and make a tag. This is a German scrap piece. It's not one of the really old ones, but I want to try to use it before it gets damaged. I don't think I'll use it on that. This is from the Etude magazine. If you ever see a vintage Etude, E-T-U-D-E, it is a piano study magazine. And I don't think it's published anymore, but I have seen quite a few out while I'm shopping at flea markets and whatnot. And if you find one at a good price, they're good because they do have music in them, but they also have a lot of advertisements. I think I need to add some color. So I'm going to try to keep my ephemera rather simple for the music journal or journals. I don't even know how many I'm going to make. I have to finish cleaning up in here from the last pair of journals that I made, and I cut something up, some books or something. So I have a pile of stuff in here from that. So I always have a lot of cleaning and tidying to do in between each project. And I started it this weekend, but I was busy this weekend, so I have to finish that before I actually really get into making another journal. Why is this crooked? Oh, that's why. Maybe I could add a little lace to it. I'm just getting out some little lace and applique pieces. Maybe a couple segments of that. I want to leave a good share of the background showing. Don't want to cover the piano. So that's pretty simple. the back so you can write on the back. Today is Eclipse Day, and the very, very far west corner of my state, Pennsylvania, is in the path of the full eclipse in Erie, surrounding Erie. But we'll see it to some extent. It will change our lighting here. I don't know how it affects other parts of the country, really, like out west. I don't know how noticeable it will be. I imagine it will be. You can let me know. But I don't have glasses to look at it. But my daughter, they have welding masks, the welding glasses, and they're safe for looking at the eclipse. And I have to go get Adam when he's done with school. He comes here every other Monday for a little Bible study that we do. And today's the day, so I think it's going to happen before he's done with school, though. But my daughter said I could go pick him up and he could bring the glasses and we could share them. Because I think she thought it was going to be a little bit later. But I was told today that it's going to be around 2:20, and he would still be in school then. So in that case, I mean, he does school at home, online. So these are just some plain reinforcements that I had colored. I could go and get the welding glasses and look at the eclipse. And if he's on a break from school at that time, he can look at it too. Last time this happened, it was in 2017 or 18. I know it was after my husband died, but I don't know if it was a year or 2 years after. But my oldest granddaughter was at my house, and her mother had come to pick her up. We were standing in the front yard and talking about how strange the light looked. But none of us had glasses to look at it. But it didn't get dark. It just really changed the light. Everything looks strange. So I could sew around that one too, like I did those wallpaper ones, and put something in there. I want to look and see, pick out a piece of ephemera instead of picking out a background this time. I like this. I like the shape of that. This is also from the Etude, 1920. I'm just comparing it to the size of a page. This is one of the Tim Holtz wallpaper pieces, and I think it's a Halloween one. Just looks like old gray wallpaper. But I think that would make a nice pocket. But I don't know if I want to just back this with cardstock and cut it out to that shape. I think that would be more fun. Or to cut this down a little bit and have it on a cardstock piece. I think I'm going to do that. Cut it out to the shape. It's not cardstock. This is cardstock. I'm just going to glue this on and you won't have to watch me cut it out again. But I will cut it out. So rather than having a preconceived plan of what I want to do with this journal, I'm just going to look at the supplies that I have and make some stuff and then incorporate them into the journal. And that will determine, I mean, I have an idea. It will be vintage looking. All the ephemera is vintage, and the paper that I'm using has a kind of a vintage collage-y style. Stamperia music paper. Well, none of that will show because I'll cut around that. But that'll be a really fun pocket. What else do we have in this pile of fun goodies? I could make this into a pocket also. I'm seeing if there's something else with a fun shape. I don't see anything, but look at those. I have to make journaling cards out of those. This one kind of has a fun shape because I'll cut around that. This is from the same, well, I don't know if it's the same year, month, but it's also 1920. I'll let those dry. What did I do with those horns I just had in my hand? There's this, and this, and this. Well, this one's already made. Well, did I bury them? Well, I'll definitely, here they are. I just threw other papers right on top of them. think I might want a more colorful background though than that. These are cut off pieces. Let me see if they're big enough. I don't think anything's wide enough. Got the other wallpaper pieces. Those are the Halloween ones, so they don't have much color. And I don't know if any of these would go well with the music journals. That one might work. Possibly. I want something with a small pattern. Okay. Something like that could work if I then put it on cardstock. Yeah, I like that color. It's just gonna take an extra step to add it to cardstock. I can put it on just some cream colored cardstock. Give it a nice border. Give it a nice pop of color. Those are fun journaling cards. Probably out of time now. I forgot to keep track of the time. Oh, still got another 10 minutes. So the Barnes flea market opened Saturday, and I was not able to go this weekend because we just had a busy weekend. They're open Saturday and Sunday. And then after the first weekend, they're open on Friday starting at noon. But the first weekend, they always start on Saturday. And I was busy both days, so that's okay. And I have my parents' 70th anniversary next Saturday, so I'm hoping I can scoot up there at noon on Friday. It's about a 15-minute drive one way, and then I usually spend 3 hours on my first trip there because there's 2 big barns to look through, and I'm very thorough when I look through stuff. But I don't think I'll want to spend that much time this weekend because, you know, I'll be getting ready for my parents' anniversary. My sisters and I are planning. I mean, there's not that much for me to do. We're having it at a restaurant, but my mom eats gluten-free. We ordered a big sheet cake from a bakery that's pretty near the restaurant we're going to, but they don't do gluten-free, so I can't find a gluten-free cake. I think those are fun, journaling cards. I'll probably ink around them. I won't round the corners because the inner part is square. Okay, and I could take things like this, these advertisements, and make little, well, I don't have to use my fingers, it's right there, little pockets. That's a long one. That would have to go that way. A lot of them are advertisements for music schools, Institute of Music, Conservatory of Music. And this is a national magazine, but there are a lot of ads for the Ithaca Institution of Music, and it's in Ithaca, New York, which is close to where I live. Even though I live in Pennsylvania. So I think I'll take this and maybe this one because I like the font on it. And I'll just, I don't have to do it on camera, but because I'm just going to glue them to cardstock and cut them out. But they'll make little tiny pockets, little skinny pockets. There's Chopin, Mozart and his family. Mozart as a little boy, and his sister, Nannerl. It says Maria Anna, but he called her Nannerl. And there's his father, Leopold. I love this. This came out of a book, so it was on one of the advertising pages. Oh, that's for a farm. That's not a piano. I don't know how it got mixed in here. That's supposed to go in my farm stuff. It's a brooder, Hatcher and Brooder. That makes sense because it was a magazine for this area, a local thing, and lots of farms in this area. I like that one. Musical Jewelry Novelties. Novelty Motto Pins. Has a treble clef. Huh, that's cute. And this one, clear notes depend on clear throats, Ludens. I thought cutting this out would be a fun pocket. So I might do that. I'm trying to see the outline of the piano. Make sure I get glue right on the edge, so the edge isn't loose when I cut off the excess. I'll cut that out later. So this could be just a little card tucked into a pocket. So I should tell you these pins. The note is on the B, so those are B's. But this one is the accidentals, or the it's a natural and a sharp and a flat. Then it says always be natural, always be sharp, sometimes be flat, never. That's why I was laughing. I should have shared that with you. It has the name of the magazine at the top of that, and I think I'll leave it on there. I'll probably look for some ephemera in this pile of stuff to make something that folds. So a booklet or something that opens up, or a trifold or something, instead of just a plain card like this. But I'll also need some just plain and simple cards. I've got a page of those ladies. I wonder where it went. It came in a book. It's the same art, but it's on a page, a blue page. And I could cut all of those little images out and make little booklets or accordion folds or something with them. I wonder where that page went. Oh, here it is. Oh, it's not on blue paper. It's printed in blue. See, that's the same. It's the same as that one. So yeah, I think I'll do something where maybe have a strip of paper. I can show you. I know it's time for me to stop my video because I try to only do 45 minutes. Just want to get a sheet of coffee dyed or colored paper. I'll do this one. And I'll just cut out this dulcimer player, or viol player. This one, I guess that's a dulcimer, no. Dulcimer, flute, viol. I don't know. I don't know what word goes with which picture. Looks like a guitar to me. And then cut this a little bit wider than that, so about there. Yeah. I'm not sure where she belongs yet, so I'm just going to put her on there so so I know the size of the fold that I need. I think I want it on this side, so you can grab it and open it up like that. And I could cut this off or just leave it as another little flap that you can write on. Or I think what I could do is use it as a reinforcement and add a eyelet there and put a little fiber, some yarn or something in there. So that's a pretty easy ephemera piece, but it gives more writing space. So if it had an eyelet with some fiber in it, it would be easy to just grab that and open it up. Okay, now I'm going to end the video, and you can tell me what you liked best from my flea market finds, if you would like to tell me that. I always like to know what everybody likes. Cute, I like it. Let's take a look at what we did. And I'm leaving a link for the video where I did the flip through of my For Keepsy journal, and I'll also leave their shop link below. They don't have a video YouTube channel, but if you want to go, at this moment they have one signature journals in their shop. So we have this. I'll cut around that, and it'll have those fun little tabs on the four corners, and and those will be pockets. I have this tag, and this tag was already made. This will be a pocket. We have 2 journaling cards and this journaling piece. And I'm going to put all this stuff away and finish cleaning up my room. Thanks for coming along today. I appreciate it, and I'll see you very soon. Have a creative day. Bye-bye.